Chinese car company just built an engine that gets 106 miles per gallon. Not a concept car, not a lab prototype hidden behind velvet ropes. Guinness World Records flew engineers to a closed test track on Hainan Island in China, ran the numbers themselves, and certified it official. The car is called the Geely Galaxy M8 Grand Sedan, and it is sitting in showrooms right now. To put that number in perspective, the average new car in America gets somewhere between 28 and 35 miles per gallon. The Toyota Prius, a car that basically invented the phrase fuel efficient, gets around 57 miles per gallon. 106 is nearly double that. And the company that did it is not Toyota. It is not Honda. It is not Ford or General Motors. It is Geely, a name most people in the West have never even heard. Here is the number that actually matters more than the 106. Underneath that fuel economy figure sits a thermal efficiency rating of 48.41%, independently certified as the highest ever recorded in a mass production engine. Thermal efficiency is simply how much of the energy inside a gallon of gas actually turns into forward motion, instead of leaking out as heat and friction. A normal gas engine on the road today converts somewhere around 30 to 35% of that energy into movement. Toyota's best hybrid, celebrated for nearly 3 decades as the gold standard, tops out at 41%. For 30 years, 41% was treated like a wall nobody could break in a car regular people could actually buy. Geely just hit 48.41%, and for scale, a Formula One engine, the most expensive, most obsessively refined combustion engine on the planet, runs at roughly 50%. Geely's production engine, sitting under the hood of a family sedan, is within 2 points of Formula One technology. Here's the honest part, because the honest part is what makes this credible instead of clickbait. That 106 miles per gallon number came from a controlled efficiency run under ideal conditions, not rush hour traffic. Geely's own real-world figures put the car closer to 58 miles per gallon in normal daily driving. But here is the catch that most people miss. Toyota's own celebrated number, the 92. 9 miles per gallon it got driving a Prius from Los Angeles to New York in 2024 was exactly the same kind of optimized showcase run, not an average Tuesday commute either. So when you compare showcase to showcase, and real world to real world, Geely is still ahead by a wide margin. A genuinely class-leading 58 miles per gallon from an ordinary gas-burning family sedan is still staggering, and it beat Toyota's showcase number by more than 12%. The engine behind all of this is called the BHE-15, a 1.5-liter, 4-cylinder engine that looks completely unremarkable on paper. It runs an extremely tight 15.5 to 1 compression ratio, uses Miller cycle valve timing to cut wasted energy, and Geely says it cut internal friction by 16.3%, paired with a 308 horsepower electric motor and an AI system that reads road conditions, altitude, humidity, and temperature in real time to constantly rebalance how the gas engine and electric motor share the work. That's the combination that produced both the 48.41% efficiency record and the 106 mile per gallon fuel economy record. 2 separate Guinness World Records from one car unveiled at the Beijing Auto Show in April 2026. Now picture this in terms you actually feel. A normal 15-gallon tank at 30 miles per gallon gets you about 450 miles before you need a gas station. That same 15-gallon tank at 106 miles per gallon gets you roughly 1,590 miles. That is Los Angeles to Denver, and most of the way back, on a single fill-up. To understand how a company nobody in Detroit or Tokyo took seriously pulled this off, you have to go back to 1986. A man named Li Shufu borrowed about $3,000 from his family and opened a tiny factory in China's Zhejiang province. He was not building engines. He was building refrigerator parts. By 1994, he had moved into motorcycles. Then in 1997, he announced he was going to build cars, with no factory built for it, no engineering background, and no industry connections. When reporters pushed him on how hard car manufacturing actually was, he reportedly shrugged and said a car is just 4 wheels and 2 couches. The industry laughed and moved on. He did not. In 2001, Geely became the first privately owned Chinese company ever licensed to manufacture automobiles. In 2007, Li Shufu wrote to Ford Motor Company offering to buy Volvo. Ford ignored him. He flew to the Detroit Auto Show in 2008 and asked in person. Ford brushed him off again. He came back in 2009 more prepared. and in 2010, he walked out of Ford's headquarters having bought Volvo outright for $1.8 billion. In 2018, he purchased nearly 10% of Daimler, the parent company of Mercedes-Benz, making him the single largest individual shareholder of one of the most respected luxury brands on earth. Today, Geely Group owns Volvo, Polestar, and Lotus, and sold 11 million vehicles in 2025, making it the 8th largest automaker in the world. This is not staying inside China's borders either. Geely Co. founded a powertrain company called Horse Powertrain, built specifically to license engine and hybrid technology to other automakers worldwide. Geely's engine tech is already being folded into Volvo's product roadmap, and Volvo sells through dealerships people across America and Europe have trusted for decades. That means this record-breaking engine most people in the West are only just hearing about is already on a path into cars wearing badges they already know. And Geely is not the only Chinese automaker doing this. BYD launched its 5th-generation hybrid system claiming 46.06% thermal efficiency, and the two companies have been publicly one-upping each other's certified numbers for months. Brands like Changan, Chery, GAC, and Great Wall have all released vehicles in the last 18 months with combined driving ranges over 2,000 kilometers on a single tank and charge. Meanwhile, Toyota and Honda's best hybrids remain stuck at 41%, and Ford, GM, and Stellantis haven't even cracked 35%. That gap is not a small competitive edge. It is a generational one, closer to the jump from a tube television to a flat screen than a routine year-over-year improvement. Toyota and Honda have stayed almost completely silent in public about the record. No press conference, no rebuttal. But industry analysts, including Yale Zhang, managing director at Automotive Foresight in Shanghai, have called Geely's launch a full-scale challenge to the dominance of Japanese hybrid vehicles, threatening one of their most profitable business segments. Toyota alone sold 4.44 million hybrids in 2025, roughly 42% of everything it sold worldwide. That is the exact market Geely just complicated. For 30 years, the entire auto industry treated 41% thermal efficiency as a ceiling nobody would ever get past. A company that started out welding refrigerator parts together with a $3,000 loan just proved that ceiling was never really there. The question now is not whether this technology reaches Western driveways. It is how soon, and whether it arrives wearing a name you already trust. Would you buy this engine if it came badged as a Volvo?